Manager Shelley Dickstein, City Commissioner Chris Shaw, Dr. Greg Seaman, trauma from Miami Valley Hospital, and Elizabeth Long from Kettering Health Network. Where's is Pastor?
He's on the other.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pastor. I couldn't see you. Pastor Richard Burks from the Police and Community Together are packed. So I'm going to repeat some of the things I said this morning just to give some information. At 107 this morning, this event occurred in our historic Oregon district. The suspect was wearing body armor and used an AK-like gun assault rifle, .223 caliber with high-capacity magazines, and he had additional magazines with him as well. We had 10 fatalities, including the shooter. That number is still the same from this morning. We have had, the hospitals have had 27 people treated and 15 discharged as of 10 o'clock this morning. In less than 1 minute, Dayton first responders neutralized the shooter. I'm just still completely amazed at the heroic nature of our police department, where they did a first aid, stopped a shooter with under a minute, and so we're grateful for their service. If you are a family or friend of a victim and have questions, you can call 937-333-8430 or come to the convention center. And if you have any information on the incident, as this incident is ongoing, please call 937-225-6217. We are grateful for all of the supporters and folks helping us from the American Red Cross, GADAHA, the FBI, ATF, etc. The Community Blood Bank is supporting the hospitals, and we are working with them to set up a blood donation opportunities. We will have more information about that in the coming hours. At 8 p.m. tonight, the community will hold a vigil for the families and those that have lost their life. We'll have a location for you again in the coming hours. The Oregon District will be open coming this afternoon in the early afternoon. Okay. I'm going to let some folks speak and then we'll do questions. First, I'd like to have Dr. Seaman come forward and make a few more remarks.
Thank you, Mayor Whaley. Again, I'm Dr. Greg Seaman. I'm a trauma surgeon at Miami Valley Hospital, which is the Level 1 trauma center for the greater Dayton region. Our facility activated our mass casualty incident plan around 1:30 a.m. this morning in association with the mass casualty incident here in downtown Dayton. That mobilized our entire team. Our facility received a total of 16 patients, of which 12 have already been treated and released. We do have a total of 4 patients that are currently admitted, and 1 remains in critical condition. Some of those patients have undergone or will undergo surgery later today. We are continuing to support many families who are arriving at our facility, and our thoughts and prayers are certainly with all of those families. We worked in conjunction with other facilities in the area to identify, treat, and communicate information in a timely manner to these families.
Thank you. All right, next we'll have Elizabeth Long, who's from Kettering Health Network.
Good morning. Kettering Health Network is a health system with 9 hospitals. We received patients at 3 of our 9 hospitals. Grandview Medical Center, which is in Dayton, received the most. We had 9 people treated. 7 were brought in by squad and 2 walked in. Of those 9 patients, 3 are in serious condition, 3 are in fair condition, and 3 were treated and then discharged. 2 were taken to surgery immediately. 1 person is still being considered for surgery. The injuries ranged from gunshot wounds to the lower extremities to abdominal wounds. 1 person came in for a laceration to a foot that happened during the chaos right after that incident. At Kettering Medical Center, our flagship hospital, 1 person was brought in and is in serious condition, And at Soin Medical Center, 2 people were brought in and were treated and then released. We want to commend our hospital staff, all the way from our ER physicians and nurses and technicians to the people who came in right away when we called the code yellow, alerting people that we needed backup. We just want to commend them for the great job they did. Also commending City of Dayton Police and first responders, so we know they're on the first line and they're the first line of treatment for people coming in. So we just wanted to commend them for a job well done.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Next, we have an organization that we work with when we have incidents called Police and Community Together, or clergy, I'm sorry, thank you. Police and Clergy Together. Hey, Pastor, I'm having a hard time. Your prayers, please. And so we'd like to have Pastor Burks come forward and say a few words about the clergy's perspective.
Thank you, Mayor. First, we just want to say, as already been stated, our prayers and thoughts are with all the victims and their families. Second, we do want to just really acknowledge the police department, Dayton Police Department, their quick response. We're very thankful for that, and first responders. On behalf of PACT, we just want to let the community know that we've been here from the start. We've been counseling family members. We have a variety of resources. We are here and we will remain here. So we just want to let you know that this is a community effort, and we're doing everything we can to help out in a situation like this.
Thank you, Pastor. Okay, guys, questions? Yes. Well, certainly it's a Sunday, so some of the businesses are typically, some of them take Sunday and Monday off because it's mostly local, but it's up to each business if they want to open. The street will be open this afternoon.
What do you say to folks who might be hesitant to go back down to the Oregon District?
Look, the Oregon District is one of the safest places in the whole region. These senseless acts of violence that occur have been happening any place, and I don't mean to scare people, but frankly, I mean, we're at a situation now in our country that you're really, these are so random. There's no place that, you could say, oh, I just don't want to ever go anywhere. So as far as the safety of the district, it's one of the safest places in the whole region.
Is anyone that's still at the hospital considered life-threatening?
I don't think we have that information yet. As we get more updates, we'll continue to update you.
Mayor, what can you tell us about the initial confrontation? Were there some security members from some businesses in the Oregon District who actually either recognized the shooter or noticed something out of place and went out and confronted the shooter before he could get in those businesses?
We don't have any of that information to report on yet at this time. As we continue to get information about the shooting, we will certainly tell you, but we don't have any of that information yet.
Have you personally been able to talk to the victims' families today?
I have not. We've had folks that have been reaching out to victims as they've come in, and I plan on meeting with those that are able. I mean, they're going through a very difficult time in the coming hours.
Have all of the victims' families been notified now?
Do we know that? We don't know that for certain. We're in the process of that.
Now that this has sunk in a bit, what are your thoughts, personally?
Look, I mean, Dayton has gone through a really tough year. 3 months ago, early in the morning, the day after Memorial Day, I think we had not quite this many cameras, but a discussion about 14 tornadoes that ravaged our city. And now to, be awakened in the middle of the night to a mass shooting and the 250th shooting in our country this year happening in Dayton. What really goes through my mind is one seems completely preventable, and I just question, when is enough enough? And so, as we're continuing to do everything we can for the victims, for our community, for families, that's where our focus is, and it will continue to be there. And I continue to be amazed about the grit and resiliency of this community, the challenge that it has taken on just in the past few months, and the love and support that comes from people is something that keeps me going as mayor and makes me so proud to do this work.
Can you
tell us how many shots were fired in the Oregon district? And can you tell us what end did the shooter come in? Was it from Patterson or from Wayne?
Just stand next to me, Debbie.
Hi, I can, at some point, we'll be able to tell you exactly how many shots were fired by officers and exactly how many shots were fired by the suspect, but I can't give you that information just yet. There were multiple rounds.
What about the direction? Have you walked in, drove in?
Yeah, we'll get to more details at a later conference, but for this conference, I can't release that just yet. We're still early in the investigation.
Where he's from? What about the shooter himself? Where he's from? Have you identified he's from Dayton or Miami Valley?
We have identified the suspect, and we will get that information to you soon. We're in our investigative process, and that takes precedence. We understand that the public wants to know who this person is, and that will be released. And obviously, we're working very hard to give the public an answer as to what the motivation might have been for this event.
There's quite a bit of chatter about an accomplice. Did you guys hear anything about that, or did you investigate a second shooter?
We're investigating all information, all leads, and we'll go where the evidence takes us. At this point, we're aware of one shooter.
What type of gun was used? You call it an AK style weapon? Is it fully automatic, semi, bump stock? Was there more than one gun?
We'll get more of that information to you. I can tell you, like the mayor said earlier, this was a 223 rifle with a high capacity magazine and extra magazines on this person.
There are other events happening tonight in this area. Is it considered safe to come to those conferences?
Yes, of course. We have just like we have police support quickly in the district. We'll continue to have folks around. And look, we're pleased. We know the community wants to come together. So for this 8 p.m. vigil, we know we'll have that site coming.
There was I was in the Oregon district at Ned Pepper's Friday. There's probably.
What were you doing there?
I can't say. There were probably 8 officers in and around Ned Pepper's. How many officers was there the same amount of officers last night as there was Friday?
You should just stay by me.
I will. There were several officers who were working in the Oregon district in the immediate vicinity, which is, we're all very fortunate that they were there and they were able to shorten this timeline of violence to less than a minute. And we regularly have officers specifically assigned to the Oregon district. It's a high concentration of people, and we want to make sure that everybody stays safe. So that's our goal. So that's why we typically have officers patrolling there, especially around the bar times.
Chief, we know that you're limited as to what you can tell us, but you keep referring to a he, at least. Can you tell us man, woman, young, old, race, anything?
We'll get more information to you.
Did you explain why you're not disclosing his identity or the gunman's identity, I should say?
Yeah, I can tell you. The investigation, right now takes precedence over people knowing. Knowing immediately. The public will be told who this person is, and it's important for us to try to establish, to try to identify all the evidence and possible motivation in this crime, because I think the victims, the families of the victims need to know that. So that's the priority.
Have you seen in the last hour and a half any traces of possible hate crime? You notice that a lot of the families seem to be families of color.
I have no information on that.
Has his family been notified?
I can't tell you that. The coroner's office provides the notification to next of kin.
Will there be extra security tonight in the Oregon district?
There's always security in the Oregon district.
Can we have the man from Miami Valley back?
What kind of help are they getting?
I'm sorry?
How many people come to the Family Assistance Center here, and what kind of assistance are they getting?
I don't have a count on the number of people that have come. We've had a pretty steady group of folks coming in and out. And, of course, as families are notified, we immediately make sure that they have the support that we can offer with coping and other issues, but also have to have a victim advocate for each family is put in place as well. Oh, yes, I'm sorry, and thank you. And police and clergy together and PACT have been at every single one of these as well.
What is it you want the world to know, because we're on the forefront right now, along with El Paso, Texas, about Dayton?
Well, I think the most important thing for people to know is what a resilient and gritty city we are, and I use those terms affectionately. We have seen a lot of issues in our community, and what amazes me about this city, and this tragic incident is no different, is how quickly our community comes together, how our community is so connected, and how just the number of people want to do something. And we saw this in May after the tornadoes. We see this again today. And then I think the other thing, I think I'm at over 50 mayors across the country who have reached out, because sadly this isn't something that only the city of Dayton has experienced. And what's really shocking to me is just the number of people that have personal experience of this going on in their communities. And it's sad to me that now Dayton is one of those communities as well.
Mayor Whaley, have you talked to the president, or have you seen the tweet that you released concerning this?
I did see the tweet, and the press, I think the White House office has called us. I have, correct? Yes, the White House office has called my cell phone. I was on another call at the time, but we have talked to the White House, but not the president specifically. I've talked to Senator Brown and Governor DeWine as well. Oh, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry. Thank you, Shelley. And Representative Turner has called me as well.
Are you aware this is like a copycat from Saturday?
I can't speculate on that, frankly. We'll have more information in the coming hours, and we'll, I don't want to speculate on any of that.
Is the shooter from Dayton area?
I can't really communicate on that until we have a name for you guys.
Can we have the doctor back up?
I do have one question about the shooting scene, if I could do that.
Yes, you're like becoming a regular reporter for Dayton.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
Were the fatalities all on the street, on the sidewalk? Were there any fatalities in the club? Can you clarify that?
Yeah, I can tell you all the fatalities were outside.
Okay. And
Correct.
Injuries?
I can't speak to that just yet.
On the scene, it appeared that the evidence markers were kind of thrown down the street, pretty 20-30 yards from each other. I mean, can you clarify if you guys think he was going from bar to bar, or if there was a charge in place at all?
We can't really comment on any of that right now.
Yeah, we will be able to let you know. Just that won't be right now.
Well, the shooting's been said to be outside of net coverage. Is that accurate, that it was outside of net coverage?
It's in the Oregon District outside.
Do we have a timeline for the next press conference, or will we learn more about the investigation from police?
Sure. So our next press conference will be at 1 p.m. And we can't tell you what we're going to say. We try to learn as much as we can. We try to tell you at that time. So at 1 p.m. today.
Just a real quick on law enforcement and Dayton Police Department. What are they handling? Is this an all-call situation for the department? Is it you guys have done a lot of the initial work and now the federal investigators handle it? What's kind of how are the tasks being handled that?
And forgive me, I didn't catch the first part of that question. I will say this: the Dayton Police Department is conducting the investigation. We've had a lot of assistance from outside resources. FBI has been here from very soon after the incident occurred, and they've assisted with the investigation. So there are a lot of resources that other agencies and organizations have provided, and that will all be included in this investigation. I can also add that after the 1 o'clock, we are confident we'll have a news briefing at 3 o'clock where we can provide a little bit more information as far as the investigation goes. It may not be all the answers just yet, but we'll try to get as many to you as we can. And I did want to thank all of the other agencies who responded. This is a mutual aid event when something like this happens. So we had police officers from all surrounding jurisdictions as well as the fire response, Dayton Fire Department response, and there was a mutual aid request there. So there were medics from a lot of other jurisdictions too. So we appreciate everyone's assistance in this response.
Were all of the injured treated for gunshot wounds, or were there other injuries?
We can't really talk about that right now, so gave you the numbers about how many were injured and how many have been discharged.
If we could have the man up from Miami Valley real quick.
Yes.
That'd be great. Thank you. So can you talk about what you were treating at Miami Valley? The person from Kettering was able to talk about what types of injuries they were treating.
We treated a combination of gunshot wounds as well as injuries from people who were fleeing the scene. That's all the information I can give you at this time.
Can you tell us anything about the gunshot wounds? Multiple gunshot wounds per person, upper body, anything?
Some victims did sustain multiple gunshot wounds. That's all the information I can give at this time.
Again, for anybody, you know, it's like most of the victims were relatively black. Were most of the victims black? Can you say that?
I can't speak to that. I'm sorry.
Anybody, police, mayor,
We don't have like all of the information to share with you. I think preliminary, it seems to be a diverse group of people. I mean about the deceased. It's a diverse group of people.
That would be later in the
Yeah, we'll have that later in the afternoon. All right, I appreciate you all and your coverage. We'll see you back here at 1. If we have more information, when we have what information we'll have, we'll give it to you at 1. And thank you for keeping the prayers of the community of the city of Dayton in your hearts and thoughts. Thank you.